welcome. How are we all doing today? So lovely to have some friends here already. And oh my goodness, what a busy week it's been, hasn't it? How's the full moon energies going for everybody today? I certainly know for me it's she's been ramping up wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully. Hi Holly, hi Jenny. How are you going, sweet peas? Sweet peas. Oh my goodness, yes, that full moon energy. I have a funny story to tell you. So last night I went out to craft class. I like doing paper craft. We were making cards and they were like wedding cards, and I've got no weddings coming up. So I was looking at some other options for other sayings and stuff that were going. And there was some there that were like, with love and sympathy. And in the group, the two of us that are not married, that have been divorced, we both sat there and went, is that what you put on the inside of a wedding card? It's from the, maybe you had to be there, but it was funny for us. Just thinking about, what would we do? Oh dear. It's like, sorry for your loss. Oh dear. Oh. And then we sort of asked, what's the moon doing at the minute? And I was like, it's full moon tomorrow. Then we realized, I was like, okay, that makes more sense. So funny. All right, so with the lovely full moon in mind, let us do a hi, Melinda. First cab off the ranks, but I'm going to do just a general reading first for the next couple of days, 3 days, I would say. Yeah, 3 days feels good. And this is a reading specifically around the full moon, using these full moon energies, and how can we best use these full moon energies and all the other energies, the Lion's Gate and all the other bits and bobs going on at the moment. How can we best use those energies to our fullest advantage at the minute? Oh, wow, Holly, that's amazing. Thank you. That's incredible. Yeah, 3 days, full moon. That's what we're up to. Let's see how we're going. Whoo-wee. Got some big energies floating around. The implant band is going a bit nuts. So, who out there requires their bars to be run, I wonder? Okay, one more. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, Jenny, it's the gratitude, the space between seconds, that one. Yes, I'm not surprised. All right. So first card up for the next 3 days for the full moon energies is around nurture. Okay. So again, it's around nurturing both aspects of you and in fact, all aspects of you. So as you can see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 4 angels and the little baby in the middle. So it's very much about nurturing your inner child. But there's also all of the other aspects of you, the masculine, the feminine, the just all of the aspects of you, no matter what they are, whether you are talking about business or family or your relationships or finances or spirit, connection to spirit. Like, just spend some time specifically over the next 3 days really nurturing all of those different aspects of you, from that space, that kindness. Oh, thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Holly. whatever you choose. I'm here for you guys. I'm service to you guys. So whatever pings for you, my love. So yes, nurturing you at the moment will be very, very beautiful thing to do over the next 3 days. The energy is going to be very high. If last night and today's anything to go by. The next thing is it's a really good time to sit down and do some learning. Those books or whatever you've got going on that you've been pushing off to the side, that maybe there's a little course, that a little short course maybe that you've bought or signed up for that you've not looked at. Maybe there's some kind of self-help book or something like that it's been just sort of plucked off to the side there. Maybe just there's something to do with the learning side of stuff at the moment. Everything is very open with this particular full moon. So along with doing that nurturing the mind, I'm getting that this is what this one is also about. So in learning to nurture your mind, you will be helping the rest of you to grow, shift, change, and expand. And there's some really beautiful energies that are coming up over the next 3 days with this full moon energy that is going to assist you to be able to do this with a lot more ease. So those moments where you're thinking, I just don't have the time, don't have the energy, don't have the patience. I'm laughing because that's the next card. The patience to do any learning at the moment. That's not true. The full moon energy is here to support you. Okay. So again, we've got patience. So a lot of us are on this big, beautiful spiritual journey, and this big, beautiful spiritual journey will keep us moving forward, whether we like it or not. Okay. And along with that, sometimes it can feel a little bit like it's a hard slog getting through all of those energies, all of the points of views and the belief systems and all the stuff that we've used to hold ourselves back, to convince ourselves that we're not getting anywhere. And it can seem like you're just getting nowhere, but the patience card has come up. So it's also saying to have a little patience with yourself at this time over the next 3 days, and try not to do it all, but at the same time, have patience with you and your nurturing and your journey. Okay. The next one, which is just adding to these other 3 cards, is we've got spiritual understanding. So keep a lookout for different signs, symbols. Look out in your dreams. I've had some really wacky dreams last night and this morning. So there's a lot of spiritual stuff that's going around that's going to be downloading over the next 3 days. That is going to require you to just have a little bit of openness with that. Okay, so again, it's that patience. You don't always have to know in this 10 seconds what these messages are, but they're going to be downloading for sure. Okay, and a lot of these messages will be coming through during sleep time, and a lot of them will come through at times where you're just sort of not really necessarily thinking about it. Maybe you're doing some meditation. So meditation will be really great over the next 3 days. So be aware there's going to be a lot more information coming through to you, and it will all become clear in time. Okay, so there's that. The next thing is clear your space. So it is very much around allowing yourself to let go of things that are no longer serving you. Okay, so clear your space. Allow yourself to know that it's okay to let things go. It's okay to let points of views go. It's okay to let belief systems go. It's okay to let the things that are holding you back go. All right, so they're just giving you, and again, that's going back to the beginning. That is a part of the nurturing of you. So I'm going to get a bit graphic for a second here. Okay, so this is bringing those 2 cards together. So we've got the little baby. Now, if we as the mothers in this situation did not clear the baby's space every time they took a dump, what would happen? The baby would get, their bottom would get very red. They would start to smell. they would start to become very, very uncomfortable and cry a lot. They would be in pain. Okay? So if this is the whole of you, but you're not clearing your space, then you, as the child in the middle, the being in the middle, are going to get really, really uncomfortable. So this last card is about being very aware of what's holding you back and not allowing you to move forward. What are you holding on to that's no longer serving you right now? Okay, so I would very much recommend and encourage you to get brutally honest with yourself as to how you're showing up in the world, what points of views and belief systems are you holding on to, what negative aspects, what abusive aspects of yourself are you holding on to and then using to traumatize yourself with. It's a bit of a brutal end to that particular reading, isn't it? It is what it is. So yeah, use those big, beautiful moon energies to your best advantage by getting really wonderfully, brutally honest with yourself over the next 3 days. Okay. It's wonderful because we're into the weekend. So for a lot of people who would do the Monday to Friday, it's a great time. So let's have a look at a yummy card for the next 3 days using that full moon energy. Lovely. Yeah, exactly, Jenny. What attachments require uprooting? And gratitude. Okay, this is all a part of the nurturing too. Okay, remember your gratitude. So please make sure you, over the next 3 days, especially in the morning and or at night is actually a really good time to do your gratitudes. But when you write out your gratitude, say, I am grateful for whatever it is because blah, blah, blah. Okay, so when you add the because, what that does is it actually increases the potency of that gratitude. And it means that you're actually really feeling into why that gratitude is so important to you in that 10 seconds. And the more gratitude you have going out, the more you get to have coming back to you as well. More of those yummy, yummy moments. All right. How does it get any better? Sorry, I just had to prove that I'm not a robot once again. Because I just heard a ding dong on my phone. Aww. Hi, Kirsty. Yeah, Kirsty. I stumble sometimes on that one, sorry, Kirsty, because I used to know Christy. So it's like I have to be very careful to look at where your I and your R is. All right, Melinda, my love, are you floating around still? You listening? So Melinda's already done a beautiful donation, and I'm very grateful for it. Just desire to make sure that she's actually floating around, and then I can do her reading for her. Yay! Holly, you went badonkers. Thank you. You're amazing. My goodness. How did we get so lucky? Yay. All right. Let me do for the week to come. Okay. And we'll see if there's anything else in there. I'm loving my Bengal spiced tea tonight. It's been lovely. Hey, Melinda, have you got any bars run lately? Thank you, Holly, again. Yeah, get your bars run, hun. Urgently. It's like, bars SOS. Reach out to, what's her name? Bernice. Reach out to Bernice and see if she'll do a swap with you. Or maybe she'll, if you've got the funds there, maybe you can pay for a session with her. Because she's still down your way. Message me after I've done this reading. Just send me a PM, okay? And I'll send her details over to you. Okay. So we're getting a sense that you require to tap into your Mother Nature skills again. Okay, so spend some time over the weekend and as often as you can over the week, tapping into your Mother Nature spirits because they're asking for some of your time and to be able to give to you some energy. Okay, so there's that. This next one's an interesting one that's coming up. So, and interestingly, you'll see that we've got the twin flame card has come up. So I'm wondering, honey, have you met someone this week that has sparked your interest a little bit? Because also in Ina Segal's card, we've got the rose card, which is attracting a relationship. And normally this one here, I would not necessarily place as a love thing, but to be put in the same reading with the twin flame card, I'm like, that's a really interesting pairing. So I wonder if there's somebody you're going maybe in the last week or maybe in the week to come that you're going to meet. And I don't like saying this lightly because it, like, or frivolously, because it's like, because I always test it out to see if they're talking about the relationship with the person themselves, so you and you. And while I'm getting there is still a little sense of that, this is more to do with a relationship with someone else there's something interesting that's going to happen over the next week. For these two cards to have popped up independently, I'm like, that's really fucking interesting, right? I'm curious to see. The next thing we've got is to listen to your intuitive feelings. Okay, so again, I know how bloody aware you are. Okay, listen to those feelings, but also be aware that you'll be coming off the tail end of the full moon energy. Okay, so things will be starting to settle down. Be aware that you'll be aware of everybody's stuff. You're going to be in an environment that is going to have a lot of people through it, and they're all going to come through with their stuff. So be aware of it, but don't get washed away with it. Okay, so that's that. The next card we've got for you is Archangel Raphael. So they're talking about the healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. I'm actually getting this is about supporting you in your job, and it's the healing of you within the workplace. Okay, so Archangel Raphael, they're saying, hey, we're going to be around you. The spirit team is going to be with you. So don't feel like you're doing this alone. Don't feel overwhelmed. If you start feeling overwhelmed again, listen to your intuitive feelings, expand out, allow yourself to let go of the energies that you're aware of and return to you. So after I've done your reading, there's the expanding out exercise. So I'll go through and do that with everybody here. It came up on Tuesday's show, so I'll go into a little bit more about what that is. Just to remind you all of how to do it. If you haven't done it before, teach you how to do it so that you can actually have a little bit more peace over the next 3 days. Okay. So the next one we've got is singing and dancing. Have some fun over the next week, honey. If you come home and you're all like bajiggity with energy, like, because I've just had or if you're like you're feeling really exhausted, mentally exhausted, please put on some tunes. Have a little dance. Get that energy out of your body. Let it move through your body. As a woman, we are very well equipped to actually allow energies and emotions to move through our body if we move our bodies. Okay, it's one of our beautiful gifts that we have as women. But so often we don't give ourselves the space to move our bodies and dance. And the best thing is like when you're living on your own and you have some time by yourself before anybody else comes over or comes home, just crank that music and dance. There's another, for anybody else listening here today and watching here today, just move your bodies. Even if it's in the bathroom and the door's shut and, you can just crank that music up and just have a little boogie by yourself. Like, that will help shift so much of those more dense energies in a way that is just so beautiful. And you will walk out of the bathroom or finish that little bit of a boogie and you'll be just like, that feels good, This matches up with the next card, which is your Sapphire card, which is regenerate your body. Okay. As you said, you're going to be starting your job on Monday. So definitely you're going to require to take some really gentle care of your body in the evening time. Not necessarily because of the heavy lifting and stuff. I'm getting that there's going to be a lot of standing on your feet. So if you can, there's this really cool stuff called Zen spray. And I'd have to find out from Matt where he got it from. But it's really, really good. And you can just, it's just a really thin spray. You just spritz it on and just lightly rub it in. It's not greasy. It's not sticky, it's not anything like that, but it works beautifully on sore muscles and it, like, if you spray it on your body before you go to sleep, make sure you wash your hands afterwards though, because it can be a bit stingy if you get it near your eyes. You require a little bit of support with your muscles and stuff over the next week. Okay, Ken, we have attract a relationship, so obviously something's going to crop up. And the next thing is that this is definitely a step in the direction of you living an extraordinary life. So also I'm getting to tell you, over the weekend, please write down what things you would like to achieve over the next 12 months. What delicious, amazing things would you like to achieve? What extraordinary things would you like to achieve over the next 12 months? Okay. And then tally up, put figures on each of those things and find out how much it would cost to have all of those things, and then divide it up into 12 months. So divide that figure by 12, and then you'll figure out how you're going to achieve, like what figure would take to achieve your extraordinary life. Okay. And with that, what it's doing is it's actually going to give your money a target. All right. And it's going to be able, you'll find that you'll actually start creating, generating, and actualizing all the money that you require to achieve those extraordinary things. And the other thing I would suggest is place that list somewhere, maybe not with the prices next to it, or with the prices, it's up to you, but place it somewhere, like on the fridge is a really good place to put that list, so that you see it every day, and then you can nourish those energies towards having them being actualized, brought forward into your life, so that you can have them now in the most weird, wonderful, incredible ways. You might actually discover, say if you decided, you put on the list there that you wish to have a really nice weekend away at an Airbnb. And next thing you know, somebody pops up and goes, oh my God, I did have this Airbnb booked. It's all paid for and everything. I can't go. Something else has come up. Would you like to take my place? Boom. You've got your weekend trip. These things happen all the time, believe it or not. But unless we're putting it out into the universe to bring in, they won't come to us. Okay? That's the difference between quote unquote lucky people and the not so lucky people, is that the lucky people are actually putting out the messages to the universe. Okay, I require this. I desire this. I require this. I desire this. It'd be really nice to have that. Yep, I'll be having some of that. Thanks. That's the messages of the lucky people, of the abundant people. Okay. So be very mindful of your wording. And this is a message for everybody. Be mindful of your wording right now, because it's very, very potent, very powerful. Okay, so let's have a look at your yummy card. Yeah, Zen spray. Good stuff. We got the word sacred for you, lovely. Your body is sacred. Your life is sacred. Your words are sacred. Your emotions and feelings are sacred. Everything that is about you is sacred. And it's time that you remember that. So if you know and acknowledge that everything about you is sacred, are you treating yourself as a sacred being? Are you treating yourself with the honor and the respect that being sacred demands? Just the question. That's what the card said. That's what your team said. Thank you so much, Melinda. That was an incredible reading. I really enjoyed that one. I really want to know who you're going to meet this week. That's got me all curious, that's for sure. Who are you going to meet? All right. So, my friends, where did those cards go? Ah, there they are. All right, now that we've got a couple of happy little friends floating around. Well, Jenny, you know what? You're getting what you asked for right now, because I know we've spoken about that word want. Hey, I'm really good. It's been a busy week. It's been a good week. And yeah, just send me a message about Bernice, so I remember to hook that through. All right, so expanding out exercise. Let's do that first, and then we'll tackle into the next reading that we've got paid for. So first of all, everybody, I would like you to close your eyes for a moment and take a really big, deep breath all the way down to the bottom of your belly. And breathing out. And take another big deep breath for the count of 4. Hold for 4. 3 and 4. And then out. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go in for 4. Hold for 4. 2. And out for 6 this time. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you should feel a little bit more chilled and a little bit more relaxed now. So just allowing your breath to return to normal. I'm going to take you through the expanding out exercise. So now become aware of all of your cells and molecules. Become aware of how your body is sitting or lying. Obviously, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Now, write down, keep your awareness going all the way down to your cells and molecules, down to the atomic level, right down to the protons and the neutrons, where you can see the protons and the neutrons zooming around the nuclei, and then take it down just that little step further so you can see right through into the center of the nuclei, where you can see that there is actually space in the nuclei as well. And at this point, have a look around you, and you'll notice that even though it's like a little microscope looking into the cells or molecules of your body, you are in fact 99.999% space. How crazy and wacky is that? Now expanding out your awareness out to the size of the room that you're in, and now out to the size of the house or home or apartment or building that you're in. And now expanding out your awareness to the size of the town or city you're in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Beautiful. And now expanding out your awareness out to the size of the country that you're in. Expanding down into Mother Earth, up into the sky in a big, big bubble. Now expanding out your awareness to the size of the planet. And now to the size of the solar system. That's it. Come on, you can do it. Even if you've never done this exercise before, believe me, your body knows what to do, and it will be doing this. Your being knows what to do, and it's doing it automatically as I take you through this. Expanding out your awareness to the size of the galaxies. And now to the size of the solar systems. The universes are beyond the galaxies. We're getting some people that are still hanging back in the solar system. And that's okay. That's okay. You got this. Everybody come along. That's the way. I know this feels weird for some of you, and that's okay too. You might just pause there. So we'll get out beyond the size of the galaxies and the universes. That's where we'll pause. And if any of you wish to go further, you can go further. Out beyond the lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities if you wish. Beautiful. And now keeping your awareness nice and expanded out. Focusing on your body once again and grab that sense of allowance. And expand that out. Beyond the size of the room, beyond the size of the building, beyond the size of the city or the town that you're in, up into the sky and down into the earth in a lovely big bubble. Expanding out your allowance, beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, and now beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies, and now the universes, and now out beyond your awareness And for those of you who have gone out beyond their lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities, keep stretching out your allowance beyond that, and then beyond your awareness. Beautiful. And what you'll notice is that when you do that, the body will just automatically go and relax. Like all the tension that was in the body will just go. And the more you do it, the easier it is. So quite often I will say to people, please expand out. Okay. And there's some extra steps that I do with some other elements, but that's the basic version of the expanding out exercise. Okay. So that there will actually assist you in remembering just who you be. And it'll help you to be like, when we are not expanded out, when we're very contracted, what happens is we become the pebble at the bottom of a raging river, where all of the flows of the water, in this case the emotions, okay, the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of others, will just batter us around, and we'll feel constantly like we're at the effect of everybody else's stuff, and going into supermarkets will be hard for us, and driving will be hard for us, and going on an aeroplane or just being in a place with a lot of people will be really, really hard. And that's a really good sign that you're very contracted down with your awareness, and especially your allowance. Okay, so what we can do is expand out. And what happens in that moment when you expand out, especially when you expand out your allowance, your allowance beyond your awareness, what happens then is that you become the observer of the river. You are no longer at the effect of the river, you're just watching the river. And you'll be like that with the people at the supermarket. You'll be able to just watch them and not be at the effect of anything that's going on in their world. You'll be able to drive and find that you'll be catching a lot more, like I call it my space bubble. You'll be having a lot more space around you. People will stop cutting you off all the time. You'll get more green lights. You'll have a faster, easier trip to wherever you're going if you choose to expand out. Okay? You'll find that the people around you will start responding with more kindness, because you won't be so contracted and grumpy. All right? So they'll feel that, they'll sense that, and wish to come and play with that, which is always fun. Okay? So I hope that explains the expanding out tool. All right, let's have some fun. Okie dokie. I'm going to do. We're going to do some poetry time, just for something fun. All right. So put your numbers in between 1 and 88. All right. Put that into the chat. Just the first number that comes into your head, and only one number. Okay. Alrighty. Nice. Iris. I love it. I love it when people can follow instructions. It's lovely. All right, Iris. I really enjoy doing this process with people that I don't know as well. Okay, Iris. So, of course, this is my book, Gratitude, the Space Between Seconds. So, Iris, you got so fragile. My sensitive soul, you're so easily hurt. I never intended to make you cry, make you angry. I was only telling what I thought was the truth. There have been times when I've been offended, but I try to let it slide. How can I apologize if you won't listen? Your eyes are cold, and this makes me ache to my core. Please smile again, and let your arms accept my embrace. Iris, where are you being a bit too hard on yourself, honey? Where are you being, again, at the effect of others? And where are you letting yourself be beholden to the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of other people? It's time to stand in your truth and allow yourself to be give yourself permission to be all of you and to say the things that are on your mind without feeling like you have to hold back. Be you, honey. Speak your heart. Some people are not going to like it, and that's okay too. All right? It's time. It's time. Okay? And if somebody in your life is making you feel like that, and making you, giving you the hard, cold eyes, it might be time to reevaluate how much time you spend with that person. Okay? As they say, this is one of those tough ones. It's tough. But yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. It's not required. Holly. All right. So we know where we're up to. Number 5. Johnny 5 alive. 6. Okay, Holly, you've got I'm trapped. I'm trapped in a place, trapped in a body, a place I'm not sure why, a body. Was it a mistake? So many worries, so many things to come, a need so great, a want which isn't possible, to wish for things to actually get them, impossible. To love someone, to have them love you, being able to overcome fear, being able to like yourself, a thing which you want to achieve, a person who gives you strength, possible. So what I'm seeing here, Holly, is where are you focusing too much on the negative stuff in your life and not on so focusing too much on the impossible things in your life and not focusing enough on the things that are possible? Where are you, where is your attention at the moment? Are you allowing yourself to see the silver linings through the tough times, or are you really focusing on those tough times as they are the whole and soul of your life? Where are you allowing yourself to get swept up in the river as opposed to being above the river and observing it? So it's time to get back to your heart space, my darling, right back here, and allow that to just open up and allow your eyes to see the beautiful possible things that are available to you. Okay? Thank you, sweet pea. Kristen! Oops. Thank you, Holly. Yeah. Just really receiving that. Thank you. Okay. Kristen, we've got reflective brightness. She walks along in her own little world, humming a tune, remembering a love now lost, looking up to see her new love. Her smile a shining beacon to be returned by one just as bright. The old is gone but not forgotten, the new unwittingly making her soul sing. Aw, Kristen. I just love this poem. It is so much brightness and lightness to it. And it's really, for me, just seeing and reaffirming to me that lightness and brightness, which is truly a part of who you be, is shining very, very bright right now. And embrace that, use that, amplify it with this lovely full moon energy that is coming through over the next 3 days. Really let that shine. Let your inner child, let that first love type energy really flow through you, because that is just beautiful. And I wonder how much more exuberance you can have with that. So cool. So cool. I love that one. Melinda. You're a sucker for punishment today, aren't you? Oh dear. 68. Oh dear. Let me just double check that. 54 is your number. Yep. All right, Melinda. You ready? You got spring. A garden of roses blooms so bright, as does a smile at a beautiful sight. Birds singing merrily perched in the bushes as the stream nearby quietly rushes. The sun is shining, roses are blooming, and the birds are singing, all creating a beautiful world. I think your life is really blooming right now. Yay! How does it get any better? So cool. So cool. Oh, I'm just absolutely thrilled by that one for you. Because seriously, that's just, that makes me feel very, very happy for you, honey. I know that you've had some tough ones, you know? You've had some tough ones, and it's time. It's time for you to enjoy being all of you, having all of you. And I look forward to hearing more about exactly what that's going to look like, you know? I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. And also, that tells me the fairies are saying stuff again. It's like, yeah, come play. We love you. Leanne. Page number 42. You just reminded me. I have to have a look at something. Whoa. All right. Leanne, my love. I know. Watch this face. We're making energetic love matches and we don't even know who it is yet. You have to bookmark it and go back to this episode and go, see, she told me about you. Oh dear. Seriously, this full moon energy has me like creating wacky scenarios in my head. Anyway, Christmas poem from the beautiful Leanne. Bright and beautiful is the season. The warm weather is here in New Zealand. We find our togs. Here in New Zealand, we find our togs. In England, they find their jackets. The sun is shining, the tree is decorated, and the children are wondering what Santa will bring this year. So, my question to you is, what gifts have you asked for? What gifts have you not asked for yet? That perhaps if you did, with all of these lovely energies, the Lion's Gate, the full moon, the timeline shift, the ramping up of our ability to create and manifest things into our lives so quickly and easily, what gifts have you not asked for yet? Because it sounds like there's something pretty yummy waiting for you too. And, and also, when was the last holiday you booked in? Perhaps it's time to start thinking about having a little holiday and a little breakaway, maybe in the summer or heading into the summer. Start planning for that now. Kia Stinger. I don't know what that means. Kia Stinger. I don't know. Wait, I don't know. All right. All right. Okay. See, I see Kia and I think Kia ora. But I'm like, that's not what she's talking about. She's not talking Māori. So yeah, maybe put that on your list of amazing experiences, much like Melinda, and write down a list of things that you would like to achieve over the next 12 months and put a holiday on there. Where would you like that holiday to be? What would be the most amazing thing for you for that holiday? So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Has anybody else out there not done a card? Not a card, a poem? If anybody else out there. Somebody's lurking. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. That's cool. All right. Now, Leanne has done a little pay it forward reading. Did you actually wish to have a pay it forward reading, Leanne, or would you like me to truly pay it forward to someone else? Because if it is for someone else, if Holly is still floating around, I'd love to gift it to Holly today because she's just been so amazing and she did heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of tags. That's beautiful. Thank you, honey. Holly, are you still floating around out there? Yay. Is there anything in particular that you would like me to, I should ask, would you like a reading? Because the beautiful Leanne from Amazing Life Strategies, she has done a pay it forward this week. Oh, that big girl's strong. That last sip. Cool. Is there anything in particular that you would like me to ask a question about? Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. Cool. We get the gold rim cards for you. Shiny things. did you all have for dinner tonight? Or your last meal, depending on where you're tuning in from around the world. Where are you tuning in from even? That would be nice to know. I like getting to know you all. So Leanne's coming in with from her heart. She lives in her heart space. I tease, Leanne, I tease. That's so cool. I can't guarantee I'm going to remember that, but it's really cool. Woo! Okay, apparently that one's yours. Tasmania. Gluten-free chicken schnitzel and steamed veggies. Roast veggies and garlics. Ooh, lovely. All of that sounds absolutely delicious. I love food. Beef, rough, and slow cooker. And from Sydney. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. What's beef rough? I don't know what that is. Grew up on a farm, but I don't know what rough is. And obviously I know what beef is. Alrighty, Holly, let's have a look. Okay. Okay, Holly, that expanding out tool, please do it a lot. Please do it a lot more. The first card that's come up is Shield Yourself. Now, when that one comes up for me, that's more to do with the fact that you've got energies around you at the moment that you might be struggling to maneuver around. And with those energies that you're around, you don't have to fix them, okay? It's not your job. You're not your responsibility to try and fix everything else or anybody else so that they feel more comfortable to be around you or you feel more comfortable to be around them. All right? The only person that you're responsible for in this 10 seconds, unless you've got kids, is you. Okay? As far as adults go, that's not your job. Okay? Expand out. Let go and return to senders any energies that are not yours. Okay? And if you know how to undo the relationships every day, that's a tool that comes through from Access Consciousness. We call it destroying and uncreating the relationship. Other modalities have something similar called cord cutting. So I would suggest you do that every single day, every night before you go to sleep. I destroy and uncreate my relationships with everyone and everything from all lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities. Okay, and then I'll do the Access Consciousness clearing statement. That's the tool that I use. My partner does this thing where he does cancel, clear, delete, and then he clicks his fingers. So that's something that he does, but it works very similar. And basically, it's about allowing you so that you're not sending your energy out to all these other people all the time unnecessarily. Okay? Allow yourself some peace and calm space to relax. Okay. The next thing we've got is be willing to forgive. Now, a lot of people get a bit hung up on this whole forgiveness thing. Forgiving is not about condoning what people who have done like not nice things to you. It's not about condoning that. Forgiving is about allowing yourself the freedom to let it go. Because quite often what happens is, especially in those relationships where it might be an older type grief or trauma, it's actually really important to allow ourselves the freedom to let it go, because we're the only ones we're hurting by holding on to those grudges, holding on to the hurts, holding on to the hurt spaces, our hurt heart spaces. Okay, so it's time to forgive something in your life, or someone, or some people that has a bit more of a resonance. There's some things you have to allow yourself to let go of, to give yourself some freedom. And letting go and being willing to forgive, to be able to do that, you've got to vacuum away your fear. Okay? Quite often what happens in toxic relationships, whether they be with in a work situation, whether it be in a relationship, like romantic relationship, family, friendships even, we get to a place of normality with the amount of toxicity, and we become very comfortable with that level of toxicity. That becomes our normal. And I'm speaking from experience here. Okay. Thank you for answering some questions in the chat there, Holly. I appreciate it. When we have had that level of toxicity in our lives, and then suddenly it kind of goes, me either, it's great, isn't it? When that level of toxicity goes, what can happen is that we'll bring other people in, or other situations in, to fulfill that level of toxicity. So to think about releasing and letting some things go, it can bring up a lot of fear, because it's like, well, what am I going to be without that? Who am I going to be without that level of anxiety, like the grudges and the he said, she said, and all of the trauma? How am I going to be in the world without that trauma? Okay, and we get a bit afraid to let it go. So I would recommend to you, Holly, and also looking through the rest of this reading, it's time for you to hook up with some healers that are going to be able to support you in doing the work that you require to do. Now, there's actually a lady I know over in Tasmania. I know Tasmania is like a bigger place. So she's a beautiful healer, and she does a lot of apothecary type stuff too. So if you wish me to like hook you up, or at least see if you are maybe in the same sort of area, then let me know. And you can PM me. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Facebook. So just PM me if you'd like to have her name. She knows a lot of really yummy tools as well. Okay. Things like getting your bars run. I don't know if you've ever had your Access bars run, but she does Linda Gordon is her name, and she does a really good bars session, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got cancel, clear, delete. So it's time to let go of some of those old relationships and the old toxicities. Okay. It is really time. Your team is being very, very clear with that. We've got heal away addictions. Okay. So again, it's about letting go of the stuff that you're holding on to that is not actually serving you anymore. Okay. The next card we've got, if you get nervous, focus on service. Okay, so you're talking about anxiety, all right, which is this form of nervousness. Okay, so remember, what is it that you are in this world to do? Something I heard on an Audible book, it was actually Marcus Aurelius said this in his, what do they call them, meditations, in his writings, and he said, you didn't choose to be in this world. The world required you to be here. He actually said needed, but the world required you to be here, and that is why you are here. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You didn't choose to be here. The world requires you to be here, and that is why you are here. All right? So your purpose to be here, your service, your reason, remember what that is. And if you don't know what that is right now, that's okay. It's coming. And it's actually been twinging at you for quite a while. Okay? It's time to bring it forward. Be of service. Okay? The next card we've got is from the Celtic card series. And this first one is She of the Woods. And it says peace, connection, and home. Interestingly, what I'm getting with this is that your team is asking for you to remember where home is and the peaceful place that is. I'm also getting that this is not this world. Don't know if that makes sense to you. It's not your childhood home. It's not this. That's not what they're talking about. There's a home, and given that it says She of the Woods, I'm wondering if they're actually asking you to get out into the woods. You have some absolutely beautiful parks and, conservation parks and all that sort of stuff in Tasmania. Time to get out and about. Time to reconnect with the trees. Time to have some time in nature. Okay? Find your peace. Find your home. Find your connection to land and to Mother Earth and to the spirits of nature. Okay? Interestingly, this was actually upside down. So right way up it says it's the fawn with the beginnings, willingness, and opportunities. So being upside down, what that's telling me is that you're stopping yourself. Okay, you're stopping yourself from having these new opportunities coming in. There's the new beginnings coming in. You're pushing them away. And I'm guessing it is something to do with these two. Okay, so there's those hurt things, those things that the grief and the pain that you're holding on to is preventing new opportunities and new beginnings to coming into your life. Okay, so be aware of that, and it's up to you whether you choose to change it or not. It truly is up to you. Okay. And this one was also upside down, which is the hair. Okay. I'll turn it up the right way so maybe you can see it. There we go. All right. So interestingly, there's actually the full moon on this card. And you can see that there's one rabbit that's looking up to the moon and the other rabbit is going underground. And there's a fable that goes along with this one, and I can't remember it fully, but it was basically that there was a shape-shifting hare that ended up underground and it was hiding. So what I'm really seeing from this one, given what you've already told me, is that you're hiding. There's a part of you that is hidden so deep underground that you've almost forgotten it's there. It's time to bring it out now. You can see that was upside down. Okay, so the part that was hidden is at the top. The part of your heart that you've pushed down so far is now asking to be seen and heard and healed. Okay. All right, now let's do a yummy card. It's a yummy card because it smells yummy. I don't know that I could wear it all the time, the scent, but it would be really nice to, it's just nice to have it on the cards, and it's just so lovely. And I appreciate it more because I don't smell it all the time, you know? Okay. You got grace. So there's a lot of grace that's about you. There's a gracefulness in your healing that is asking to come forward. And you can do it with grace. It doesn't have to be traumatic. Okay? It can be really, really easy, or a lot more ease than what you think it's going to be. There could even be, I don't know if Linda does theta healing, but I do a bit of theta healing online. And that is, that's my 1 hour sessions that I can do that sort of stuff. If you would like to book in a session for, releasing some of those old traumas, do so. You can do that through my website and stuff. No pressure. But yeah, Linda's really lovely. She's in Tasmania there, like I said. I remembered something about King Island, maybe. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know Tasmania very well at all. So I hope that helped, my darling. Thank you so much for your contribution to our show tonight. I'm very, very grateful for you. Very, 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 very grateful. All right. And of course, thank you to Leanne for that pay it forward. Super grateful to her too, because you know what? People like that open my heart even further for even more deliciousness to come into our world. Let's double check the old PayPal, make sure see what we've got going on over there. Beautiful. Excellent. You're so welcome, Holly. I'm glad that helps. It is a bit tough sometimes when we're in those hurt spaces to see what's possible beyond that. Yeah. Yeah. So that was Leanne, who is the Amazing Life Strategies lady. She's just popped in a message above yours. So there we go. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to do a reading today? I'll give it a few more minutes. So in exciting things that are coming up, I have on my Tasty Tuesdays show, which is our interview show, I have Susan Lister. She's coming up on Tuesday, and she is a holistic counselor. She also does some pretty cool training programs and does yoga and all sorts of cool things. And I'm really looking forward to having another chat with her. The first time we really got to sit down and chat properly, we just sat and chatted for, until midnight. It was crazy. So I love it when I can just really enjoy getting to know people and having those conversations where you do get to dive into those deeper topics. I really, really enjoy that. And I get to do that on the Tasty Tuesdays show. So that's at 7:00 at night in Adelaide. And then obviously Find You Fridays will be back on Friday as per usual. Then the week after that, we've actually got the Lotus Sisters. I'm so excited to have them on. I have only heard about the Lotus Sisters from a lot of people. So they're very well known here in Adelaide, and I'm going to get the privilege of chatting to them on the 23rd of August. And then on the 30th of August, we have the amazing Leanne, who's here tonight from Amazing Life Strategies. She's going to come in and chat with me on the 30th. I am so looking forward to having a nice, big, yummy, tasty conversation with Leanne too. And in other really wonderful, exciting news is that I have, and I'm going to just grab that little link if I can just quickly. I have, oh goodness, why do they do that? I don't wish to be on that piece. So I have a retreat that myself and Lucy Butler and Nikki Schultz, I just had to think about how to say her last name. We have organised for the 11th to the 13th of November, and that will be here in Adelaide, and that is called the Honouring You Retreat. Oops, it helps if you spell it. There it is. All right. Fantastic. So I'm going to just chuck that up into the little chat here so that you can see that. But this is a women's only event, and there are only 8 spots available, and I have already been contacted by at least 3 people who already were like, I'm gonna be there. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. So this is an incredible event about tapping into and giving guidance and a little bit of nurturing and yumminess to the beautiful, delicious women out there who are requiring to remember how to honor themselves, who are requiring some clarity in their lives, who perhaps their balance between the masculine and feminine energies have sort of gotten maybe a little bit out of whack. And, you could be a little bit like how I used to be, very much in my masculine side of my energies and not really much in my feminine. So how did that used to show up for me? Well, that used to show up in ways like I would get, I was very, very much a control freak. How much is the event? Ooh. So, Holly, you're in Tasmania, love. This is going to be an in-person event. Okay, so unless you're planning on coming to Adelaide, which would be really cool if you are, at the moment we've got the early bird price, and that goes through, and it is $989 if I remember correctly. Yep, through to the 30th of September. Okay. So, and then after that, it'll be $1,100. And there are payment plans available, and you just have to contact me to organise that. And it'll be that plus the booking fee. All right. So, that's all of that. But yeah, so it is very much around healing those traumas and allowing yourself to remember who the delicious you that is truly you is, and bringing her up so she can sparkle and just calm and settle those masculine sides. Who knows, maybe one day we'll come and do an event in Tasmania. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, for me, how that used to show up for me is that my control freak would come out massively. And the reason why the control freak came out so strongly when my masculine was so high is because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe enough in my relationships to be able to have that vulnerability of my feminine being stronger. Okay, now vulnerability in and of itself is not actually a weakness. It's a strength, and it's an ability to be aware of all of the energies. But when my masculine was much higher, I was not willing to be that level of awareness either. So I would be really pedantic about everything in my life. I was pedantic about the stuff on my desk at work. It had to be in exactly the right spots. The things at home in the cupboards had to be exactly the right spots. Things like dishes weren't allowed to be on the bench. It would be if I had like somebody had cooked, like I'd cooked dinner or something, and the person had just scooped the last mouthful out of their plate, and boom, plate was gone, washed, put away. I think about how tense my body was back then and how detached I was from all of the delicious, amazing aspects of me. I was so judgmental of my body. I was judgmental of people around me. I was a freaking mess, to be honest. And as a result, because my masculine was so high, and this is something that I chatted about with the podcast Tuesday just gone with Two Guys and a Girl, which is going to be a feature for the next little while. But once a month, you'll see the Two Guys and a Girl podcast come up, and that will be, it's still on Tasty Tuesdays, and that's with Brooke and my partner Matthew. So we'll be playing with different elements, talking from the feminine and the masculine aspects, because those two guys are two very beautiful masculine men, divine masculine men, who have been doing the work and come from sometimes slightly different points of views, as we all do, but it's lovely to have these chats. And I was talking about how when I was in that space of very high masculine, what happened is that I then was attracting males into my life that were a little bit more feminine and required the strength of a masculine person, and the holding of the space, and just contributing so much to hold that space for them. And it was really interesting when I realized how that was showing up in my world. And it was, the last relationship was a little bit narcissistic from them. And then I realized that it was, I had brought them in. I chose them quite clearly. But also the lesson there was, hey, honey, you're not balancing your masculine and your feminine energies. In fact, your masculine is so high that you can't even bring in a man who can do anything for you, because you're doing everything for yourself. Everything. You're not allowing them space to be there. So yeah, thank you, Holly. It was a great show, wasn't it? I actually really enjoyed it. And Matt, I know Matt enjoyed it as well. And we've had some really good chats about things. We're going to be, I think, the next topic, well, you'll just have to wait and see. We have a pretty good idea about what that's going to look like. So, yeah. Anyway, my loves, thank you so, so much for coming on and playing and enjoying space with me today. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday next week, where again we're talking to Susan Lister, who is a fellow holistic counsellor amongst many other things. And I look forward to chatting with her about the amazing work that she does. And you know, she does a lot of other stuff around color and things like that too. So I look forward to having a bit more of a chat with her, and to see you all on Find You Fridays next Friday. I adore you. Thank you. And remember, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. Get out there, do something really, really yummy for you this weekend. For those of you who are requiring to get out and spend some time in nature and commune with the elementals, please do so. I adore you. Thank you so, so much for being here. It opens my heart and makes me feel so amazing to wind up my week, my work week, with this incredible show, connecting and contributing to you all. Have a beautiful weekend. Have an amazing week. Be bold, be brave, be you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.